Sometimes when you're tracking an object in Davinci Resolve, something else gets in front of it. Just like in this clip where my helmet occluded the motorcycle screen that in the original video I was trying to replace with a subscribe animation. So welcome back to Creator Reality, my friend. Today I'm going to show you the workarounds I used for that, whether you have the free version or studio version of Davinci Resolve. So let's dive into Davinci Resolve and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here we have my original clip, and as I scrub through, you see my helmet completely blocks the view of that motorcycle screen. We don't want that. Davinci Resolve cannot track through that, so what do? Well, we're going to start with the Planar Tracker, so I'm going to select my clip, hold Alt and drag to make a duplicate. You don't have to, but it does sometimes help to have the original, just in case you screw something up. With our new clip selected, I'm going to right-click, choose New Fusion Clip. Now that it's a Fusion clip, we can use our Fusion icon to go into Fusion where we have Media in 1, and I'll press my 1 key, and you see I've got 2 viewers. If you don't have 2 viewers, click on this button, which will toggle between 1 and 2 viewers. I like to have 2 up. It helps me see a before and after, and it comes in handy in some other cases. But Media in 1 is in our left viewer, and Media out 1, if you notice, has the second dot lit up. It's in the right viewer. So the first thing we need to do is make sure Media in 1 is selected, and then shift spacebar and type in Planar. Yeah, Planar. It's from Boston. Planar Tracker. Then we click Add, and nothing happens. That's good. Let's set up our Planar Tracker. So with Planar Tracker 1 selected, we're at the first frame of our clip, and we need to make sure operation mode is set to track. Then we'll click Set. You don't have to because we're at the start of the clip and it's not going to change anything, but it is a good practice and you'll see why in just a minute. Change your tracker from point to hybrid point area, and then I'm going to control mouse wheel and zoom in on one of these screens. If I draw around this screen here, it's not going to track. Once we get to about this frame, and we can come up here and zoom to fit, once we get up here, now you notice it is obscured and Resolve is not going to be able to track that. So I'm going to reset the Planar Tracker, and then I'm instead going to draw starting at the midline of the screen, and I'm going to come over here and get some of this speaker area. This is on the same plane, and obviously you're going to be tracking something different, so you're going to want to be able to pick something else out that's still on the same plane as what you want to track so that Resolve has something to track. Now, in my case, we're at the start of the clip, and I've got this speaker and the screen track there, or outline there rather, and we're going to track forward. And it's going to go all the way up to about the midpoint, and if I move over, you can see the screen is fully obscured now, where Resolve would not be able to track it. But if we again zoom to fit, and we scrub through the footage, you can see it looks pretty good, but it's kind of hard to tell what's going to work and what isn't, so let's fix that by coming up to operation mode and changing it from track to corner pin, which brings up the corner pin window, and then we can roughly drag that into place using these 4 corner parts, the corner pins if you will. Control mouse wheel to zoom in, and we're going to fine tune it to where our overlay is going to end up being. So now that it's there, we can scrub through the footage, and again I'm going to zoom back to fit, and you can see that it's tracking it right to perfect right there. That's good. And now Resolve's going to get a little bit wonky. For some reason it's doing this on my machine today. So now what we need to do is do a second Planar Tracker. So with Planar Tracker 1 selected, shift spacebar, Planar Tracker again. It adds Planar Tracker 2, and we're going to do the same thing but starting at the end. Notice that I have set this reference time to 114. I'm on frame 114 and I click Set. Now I can draw my box, and again we're going to do from the midpoint of the screen over into the speaker. And it doesn't have to be exact, but it does have to be roughly on the same plane so that Resolve can track it properly. And then I'm going to zoom out and track backwards. That's great. Then I'm going to go back to the end of my clip, change operation mode to corner pin, and again set up my corner pins to be where the screen is going to end up being overwritten or overlaid. That's good. And now we see it's tracked all the way to here. Let's put Planar Tracker 1 in our left viewer, and it is all over the map. If it does get off kilter, you can go back to the edit page and then back into Fusion and it'll reset this, at least in my case. So with Planar Tracker 1 selected, we're going to find where the screen is completely obscured, right there. And we're going to make sure we come over to settings, and we're going to drop our blend all the way down to 0. click keyframe, go back 1 frame, and bring our blend all the way up to 1. Then we're going to select Planar Tracker 2, where it starts out great, and there it is, it's finally displaying. And it's going to be obscured right about here. So on this frame, we want to go to Settings, bring our blend down to 0, click keyframe, go 1 frame forward, and bring it up to 1. Now, there's nothing happening here, and that's okay. We're going to go back to the start of our clip and select Planar Tracker 1. It's nice and clean here, and this gives you a good starting point. And we're going to bring in a background node, and I've already got it in my media pool, the Davinci Resolve logo. We'll rearrange these so that they line up, and then we can drag the output of our logo over the output of background 1, which creates a merge. Then we can take the output of the merge and drag it to the green input of Planar Tracker 1. And now you'll see that our screen has been replaced. If I control mouse wheel to zoom in, you can see it's been replaced. Now, if I click Planar Tracker 1 and I take my settings and I drag it down a little bit, you can see how it's going to merge over here. What we need to do is click on Media in 2, Shift Spacebar, type in Trans, get a transform node, click Add, and then we can change our aspect so that our logo remains square. Change our size to bring it up a little bit. There it goes. It covers the whole center of the screen. And then we can go back into our Planar Tracker and bring our settings all the way back up to 1 and click to remove the keyframe. Now, when I zoom to fit and Media Out 1 is in my right viewer, you can see that as we go along, our screen is tracked perfectly. Boom, that's nice. Towards the end of the clip, nothing's happened. We can take the output of our merge 1 and bring it to the green input of Planar Tracker 2, and it does the same exact thing. Ta-da! So even though this corner pin display isn't working properly for some reason, the screen replacement is. But you'll notice as I scrub through the footage, it's going to be on top of the helmet. We don't want that, so let's solve this the easy way with the free version of Davinci Resolve. So we're going to go back to our edit page, and remember we had an original copy of this clip. Let's hold Alt, click, and drag to make a duplicate. And with our new untouched clip selected, we can click on the color icon. And here we are on the color page. We want to mask out just the helmet, so we'll come to the power window area, click on curve, which gives us this funny pen looking icon, pen tip. And I'm going to use my center mouse wheel to drag the image over. And then I'm really quickly going to click and drag an outline of our helmet. And then we're going to come back and refine it in just a second. And there it's drawn. Now I can use my center mouse wheel to zoom in and fine tune the placement of these dots. And that way we can get a good mask going on. And you'll see why it's not super important in just a minute. But we're going to have a nice clean outline. There it is. So I can zoom back out. So now we want to track this through the clip. So what we need to do is come over to the tracking area, click frame, and click our keyframe icon to create our first frame keyframe. Now we're going to use the left and right keys on our keyboard to traverse forward and backward through our clip. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 frames over. And all you have to do is hover over your mask, this power window with the crosshairs, and drag it around. Remember, the only thing we're worried about is this screen. So that's all we have to mask out with whatever the helmet portion is covering. So I'll go 3 more frames and move it over. Sometimes it can be a little fiddly and it will take some time, but I'm going to rush through it real quick. Once I get to the screen, I'm going to slow down and do it frame by frame to make sure it's really close. In fact, you can ignore most of the first frames and the last frames because the helmet isn't even anywhere close to the screen, but I'm just showing an example, giving you more information to work with. Boop the like button. We're having fun today, right? So now that it's completely obscured, we're just going to go all the way forward. And there's our screen. So we're going to go back 1, bring our mask over, and then unmask the screen, as it were. Ta-da! And then we're done. So that's the rest of the clip. Now we need to right-click in the node tree area, choose Add Alpha Output, and drag the blue square output of our node to the blue circle. And there's our screen. It pops up. If I drag this little playhead through, you can see that now the screen is behind the helmet. So we have our finished effect here using the free version of Davinci Resolve. Let's play it back real quick. And as we play it back, you'll see that the Resolve logo is now hidden by the helmet when appropriate, but it's locked on to that motorcycle screen otherwise. Now let me show you real quick how to do this using the studio version if that's what you have. So I'm going to click on my overlay clip and press the D key to disable it. And then I'm going to click on my Fusion clip, click our Fusion icon. We're back in Fusion. I'm going to lasso select and then hold Control to select these other two nodes and move them over. For cleanliness sake, click in blank space, shift spacebar, magic. Magic mask, we'll add that in. Drag the output of media in 1 to the yellow input on Magic Mask 1 and press R1 key to bring it up in the left viewer. What we want to do next is zoom to fit, and I'm going to make sure that mode better is selected, and I'm going to click on the helmet. And then you wait a second and it disappears. This is where it becomes very handy to have that second viewer open, because I can just click around on the helmet and you'll see it pop up in the left viewer. And the thing I want to make extra careful sure of, because that's a sentence that works, is that the edge of the helmet is selected. Now, Magic Mask 1 would not have done a great job on this. In fact, I've tried it. It doesn't work great, but Magic Mask 2 works excellently here. Let me go ahead and track this real quick. So I'm going to track forward and backward, and you can see that it's picking up just the helmet. That is super cool. And that really tracked fast, my goodness. I don't know what happened. I got a new driver on my 5090 GPU, go figure. But now I can drag the output of my Magic Mask 1 to the output of Planar Tracker 2, and then we have Merge 2 that gets created. And if I go to the middle of the clip, you'll see that it has perfectly lined up with the edge of the helmet there, and voila, Bob's your uncle. When we come back to our edit page and we let Davinci Resolve render this out with the render cache, got a video up there. Render cache is very handy stuff. Now that it's done, we can play this back and you'll see the same exact effect, but with a lot less work. Think of all the time savings that Magic Mask and a few other studio features will bring you. Pretty cool, huh? So that is a great workaround when you have something obscuring the object you're trying to track. It is a very hard sentence to say. Boop the like button, consider subscribing just for that alone, right? Not, not discounting the actual knowledge I imparted today, right? Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate your time, and I do hope that you're learning a lot with my Davinci Resolve videos. In case you missed it, here's another one. Go check that one out, and I'll see you there. John out.